Previously on Miss President.
Group Red, Jemima Kutata and Caroline Owen, please stand up. Caroline Owen, we are sorry to say we'll have to let you go home, but we are very proud to have had you in the house, and because of your leadership qualities, and we hope that wherever you go at home, you will still continue to become the leader that you are, and even bigger, creating a bigger impact to the society. Thank you very much. Jemima, you can go back to your seat, but as you remain in the house, I want you to change your perception. Mary Miano and Asha Kudura. Mary Miano, your pitch for today actually stood out, and for that reason, we will give you another chance. Asha Kudura, because of the same reasons that her points were stronger than yours, we will let you go home. Even as you nurture our baby, you will make her know that you are once a Miss President in the house, and even in the process, you will still pursue the urge to become a public leader. Group Green, we have Mary Mudachi and Halima Garat. Halima Garat, you still do not know where your weakness is, and that is not good for a leader. Mudachi, you're blaming everyone. As a leader, you need to learn to take responsibility for whatever happens, not blaming people, because mistakes will always happen. And for that reason, we will let you go home. And now to the group with women with powerful voices. So we have Lucy Daisy. It is good you realized your mistakes, your weaknesses, and you're ready to improve on them. That is what I hope. You have a very short time to improve on them. For that, we are giving you a chance, hoping you improve. And to get to Kurgat, we are also very proud that you still have that voice, and you really, at least when you were asked the question why you want to be a leader, you pointed them out very clearly, and even your contributions came out clearly. So for that reason, congratulations, you will stay in the house. Editor, you nominated yourself. No leader in the world, especially who is here for public office, can ever nominate themselves. It may come out as a sign of selflessness to some, but being a president is a fight for the fittest.
And now, a quick look at the parties before elimination. Remember, somebody from each party will be going home tonight. We are down to 36 contestants. So let me ask you again, is Kenya ready for a female president? Are these contestants ready to lead? That's your question? Their answer is yes, absolutely. They are assertive, level-headed, and very determined to take on the responsibility and functions of leadership. Now, in the coming episodes, the contestants will undergo training, tasks, various challenges and problem-solving activities, presentations, halafu, the dreaded eliminations, to eventually end up with one winner, Miss President. Over Over 1,000 applications were received from all over Kenya, and from these, 70 contestants were shortlisted. After a series of auditions, 40 women were selected, and they will battle it out at the academy, where they will go through a process of training, tasks, challenges, problem-solving activities, presentations, and eliminations to eventually be elected Miss President. Now, since leadership doesn't work in a vacuum, the contestants are divided into 4 groups. Leaders are required to work with people from all walks of life. While working within these groups, the contestants will be tested on their ability to lead or work as part of a team. You can be sure that at every stage of this competition, you will be at the edge of your seat as these capable women try to convince the judges and you at home why they should make it to the next stage of the competition. Now, let's meet our esteemed judges for this episode.
I'm Dr. Zipporah Okoth. I'm a lecturer of film and theatre arts at Kenyatta University. I'm also the founder of the Lake International Pan-African Film Festival. I'm a gender consultant and a performing artist. I'm looking for people who are informed, presentable, firm, and have a purpose.
Hi, I'm Jerry Kerene. I work in the policy environment, helping various small groups lobby for better laws for business. I'm a tough judge. I'm no nonsense. The minute you come before me, you better know your stuff. If you don't, well, you can only expect a challenge.
My name is Maina Mwiruri. I'm a journalist. My area of specialization is political analysis. I am looking for coherence in articulation of ideas of leadership. The presidency being the highest political office in the land, this will matter a lot.
In today's episode, the contestants will be trained on conflict resolution.
Hi, my name is Zuki Waita, and I'm the founder and lead consultant of Impact Pathway Solutions Limited, a development and management consultancy specializing in institutional strengthening, leadership development, negotiation, trade, and investment facilitation.
Very honored to stand here in front of you today to take you through this conflict resolution for women in leadership. Give me one word that you can associate with conflict. Okay, I'll start you off. My one word associated with conflict is tension.
One word I associate with conflict is unforgiveness,
anger,
judgment,
discrimination.
I associate conflict with war,
terror,
suffering,
misunderstandings.
Misunderstanding.
unavoidable.
Unavoidable. The fact of life is conflict happens. There's no way you can avoid it, whether it's in your relationship, in your marriage, whether it's in your relationship with your co-workers, whether it's with your relationship with your communities that you're working with and the leaders in the communities that you're working with. One basic fact of life is conflict happens, so you have to learn how to live with it. So depending on how the conflict is managed, you always try to work on minimizing the negative effects of the conflict, and then maximizing whatever positive effects you're going to get from the conflict. Conflict resolution is based on solid understanding of the different ways that conflict emerges and can be resolved. Who can tell me maybe an example of how conflict would emerge in whatever you're doing?
In my view, it can be through consensus, or it can also be through somebody making decisions based on prior information they have pertaining to a specific scenario at hand.
Okay.
Conflicts can also emerge when there are two parties that are of equal strength and of equal character.
Okay. People try to resolve conflict by using two approaches. Either I win or you win. There's no in between. And I think that's where we go wrong. I'll put here different kinds of situations in our daily lives when we come into conflict. And we have ones which are more on the individual, and there are some which are internal and some which are more on the external side. So on the first one is interpersonal conflict. So it's conflict between two individuals, okay? Especially when people are different from each other. Then you have another kind, intra. So that was inter. Then you have intra. And this is what occurs within your individual, within your mind. Then you have the external, the intra-group conflict. This is the type that happens amongst individuals in a team. So you have the sales department and you have the assistant manager not getting along with the general manager of the sales department. Then there's intergroup conflict. It takes place when a misunderstanding arises among different teams within our organization, accounting is not listening to HR. They have their own priorities. So these are the 4 types of conflicts that we need to be aware. Conflict resolution, what is it? How is it achieved? Some of the common definitions and the ones I really like, it's a way for 2 or more parties to find a peaceful solution to a disagreement amongst them. There are generally 5 generally accepted steps to conflict resolution. Usually the first one is identify the source of the conflict. Where is this conflict coming from? The more information you have about the source, the more easily you can help resolve it. So as a leader, you have to give both parties a chance to share their side of the story. Everyone given an equal chance. So identify the source of the conflict. Then look beyond the incident. Look beyond the incident, okay? Don't get sucked into the moment of the incident. It's often, it's not a situation, but a perspective of the situation that causes anger. After that, request solutions, okay? Let it be a brainstorming. Don't let the solution come from you. Have a brainstorming session. Let them own the solution rather than it being directed down. So after getting each party's viewpoint on the conflict, get to identify how the situation can be changed. After that, identify solutions that both parties can agree to and say, yes, we can live with this solution. Because as they talk, you're also listening and trying to figure out what's the best course of action to bring an end to this tension. And point out the merits of the various ideas, not from each other's perspective, but for the benefit of the organization, for the benefit of the people, of the community, of the county. Okay? The bigger picture. Let them see the bigger picture, Then finally, we have the handshake. The handshake. I can't overstate how important that is. And to get them to agreement, there are some certain questions. What action plans do you both put in place to prevent future conflicts from arising in the future?
My feeling is that even before we come to the 5 steps of conflict resolution,
yes,
it would be important to insert something in between where we think of preparing the people coming to the negotiation table, that we need to prepare them in a way to understand that in any conflict resolution, it is a win-win situation.
Win-win.
Yes. We also need to prepare them so that they come with open heart, because most times dishonesty plays a very great role in the later stages where the conflict will still happen.
Tips for resolving conflict as women leaders.
I've been a teacher for about 12 years in high school, and sometimes you come into conflict with students a lot and you punish them and they feel bad. But at the end of the day, you still love them.
Yeah.
So you separate the problem from the person.
I suppose it's important to admit that there is conflict. Admit that you are angry. Admit that you're mad. Admit that you feel you are in a competition and the pressure is there and somebody somewhere is not, is a hindrance to what you want.
In a conflict resolution, you put yourself in their shoes, but don't end up sympathizing. Instead, empathize with that person.
Conflict resolution skills can help you deal with your fears. It's a skill that, it's a life skill. It's a soft skill, it's a life skill that can help you deal with your fears. There's always more than one way. There's always more than one way to satisfy concerns. Good preparation means success. Somebody said, how do you bring people together and they don't trust each other? That's part of the preparation process, making sure that they know there's an issue to be resolved. Know the issues involved. Plan your strategy well. We saw those ones. Do you avoid, do you collaborate, do you compete, or do you compromise? The final and most difficult test is to remain calm in these challenges. And also, if you get emotional, the ball game is almost over. And finally, too angry and frustrated people will seldom be able to think through a solution that works. So That's my thing. I'll drop the mic. Thank you very much.
Anything in this lesson that you will use in your strategy?
The one thing that I will want to use in my strategy is bringing people together.
Yes.
We tend to be people who all have very strong characters.
Yes, yes.
So nobody ever wants to back down.
Yes.
So the thing that I will definitely put into use is being that one person that says, wait a minute, let's come to a round table and let's put our issues together and see where we can go.
You know, conflict, actually that thing of separate the person from the conflict, it's very difficult because most of the people we are in conflict with, we know them for a long time and we are actually even anticipating the conflict. So I think I'll take that challenge that from today henceforth, anyone I get in conflict with, I'll try and separate that person from the conflict.
The issue of how to resolve, being able to detach from the emotions. How do you get to the core where people can communicate? It applies in everything, whether it is a relationship, it is at work. There's a lot to be learned from 5 basic principles.
When it comes to competition, you can win or you can go home as a leader. And after this topic of conflict resolution, barrier is a gate to success.
Oh, brilliant. I could have
so,
been better.
My heart is healed.
Oh, good. I'm glad you're back again. I'm glad you're back again.
And I'm continuing.
You are watching Miss President. Over 1,000 applications were received from all over Kenya, and from these, 70 contestants were shortlisted. After a series of auditions, 40 women were selected and they will battle it out at the academy, where they'll go through a process of training, tasks, challenges, problem-solving activities, presentations and eliminations to eventually be elected Miss President. Now, since leadership doesn't work in a vacuum, the contestants are divided into 4 groups. Leaders are required to work with people from all walks of life. While working within these groups, the contestants will be tested on their ability to lead or work as part of a team. You can be sure that at every stage of this competition, you will be at the edge of your seat as these capable women try to convince the judges and you at home why they should make it to the next stage of the competition. And now, a quick look at the parties before elimination. Remember, somebody from each party will be going home tonight. Mwalimu Nzuki, tumpigie makofi tafadhali. At home, if you want to get involved, of course, do so. So it's an interesting task in as far as conflict resolution is concerned. So let's see how this plays. Let's give a round of applause. Honorable Daktari Zipi, Honorable Kereine, Honorable Mwirore. Atusimame. Asante. You may sit. Mwalimu.
Thank you, Jimmy. So this is based on, it's a real life situation, but I just decided to change the names a little bit. And it's a typical sort of corporate conflict that you find in large organizations. And here we have Akinyi and Kimani, both working for this telecom company. The manager of the new division was originally the leader of the project team, for which they were interviewed and hired Kimani. Akinyi also was another project team member, also interviewed Kimani, but strongly opposed hiring him for the project because she thought he was not competent to do the job. Now, 7 months later, after Kimani was hired, the manager left the project to start her own company and recommended that Kimani and Akinyi serve jointly as project managers. So they share the project manager position. Now Akinyi and Kimani are meeting with you guys, you are the mediators, to see if you can resolve the conflict between them, okay? Also, what are the possible ways to deal with the conflict between Kimani and Akinyi? And finally, given the benefit of retrospection, what could or should have been done to avoid this conflict in the first place? Now, you have exactly 15 minutes to discuss, come up with solutions to the 3 questions, and then I'll call you one by one to report on behalf of the group.
No, the only thing we know is that designs and all form of communication shall be costly.
So that's like an intra-group. He's already outside working for a different company. With an hidden agenda from the manager
Within a group, intra-group.
I think we should just go straight. Yes. And I highly likely that if it is not sorted out in a mediation, in the workplace mediation, it has to ensure that Kimani does not go early enough.
How would we show for we should also know the job description of the
Yes.
Okay, so the Green Table, Group 3, has agreed to start us off.
There is interpersonal conflict. Akinyi is asking herself, did she make the right choice by agreeing that Kimani is hired? She should have said something. She should have given an ultimatum of some sort. There is some aspect of intra-group conflict. You see, the manager, although he knew there is bad rapport between Akinyi and Kimani, when he was leaving, only when he was leaving, did he recommend that Kimani and Akinyi work together. So he's going out, starting his own company, and then he's leaving the company that had employed him, giving them 2 people who don't work well together. That is intra-group, the existing company and the one that he went to open. What could or should have been done to avoid this conflict in the first place? I think the outgoing manager should have clearly defined the roles of each person. And we can introduce incentives for outstanding performance and teamwork.
We have interpersonal conflicts between Kimani and Akinyi. There is lack of trust. There is competition for leadership. Both of them have a very strong ego. None wants to give the other space. Both have negative perception of the colleague. Possible ways of dealing with this. The first solution is to identify the conflict. We use the conflict resolution procedure that we've been taught by Mwalimu here and ensure mediation so that we come up with a solution. The other suggestion is to define the portfolio of each one of them, coming up with a clear organizational structure so that each person knows what is expected of them. We have also said the ultimate solution is fire both of them. What should have been done to avoid all this? The first suggestion is that there should have been proper handing over. The outgoing manager did not hand over wisely. We are also suggesting that during the interview of Kimani, there should have been a panel of interviewers so that they see the competencies of Kimani and be able to agree together what competencies Kimani had.
The conflicts that we identified, one was the issue of role conflict, whereby roles were not clearly defined, and what was Akinyi supposed to do and what was Kimani supposed to do. And then there was also the issue of ego and superiority complex, whereby Akinyi was feeling like she interviewed Kimani, and so she doesn't have to work or be on the same level with him. And then there was also the conflict of bias, whereby Akinyi felt like she strongly opposed Kimani to be hired, and she felt like he wasn't competent enough for the job. Therefore, she did not want to work with him or did not even see the essence of him working there. And the solution would be mediation, which was a workplace mediation. We chose to think that we should inform both parties that you've noticed the problem, and then you approach the parties separately and hear their stories. To avoid this conflict, there should be team building and to also redefine the leadership and the hierarchy of the organization.
We decided that interpersonal between Kimani and Akinyi, due to differences in their personality. And then the other type of conflict was role conflict, because their roles exhibited were different from the ones they felt that they should have. The possible ways to deal with the conflict. As a group, we identified the source of the conflict, and it is a lack of clear organizational culture. They needed a clear directive that all formal communication should be co-signed by both Kimani and Akinyi. No one is above the other. What could have been done to avoid? A clear chain of command. Our final recommendation as a group is a win-win situation. What will be the win for Kimani, the win for Akinyi, and the win for the organization? Thank you.
Each group has managed to capture the 4 or 5 things that I was looking for. Everybody got it. Everybody. You know, the fact that it's those 3 conflicts: the interpersonal, the intrapersonal, the intergroup. Everyone got that. The issues around conflict of interest, the power plays that were involved. Even the firing was also one of the things I'd even thought about. But I'm glad it was corrected. There are protocols and certain steps that go towards that. Give yourselves a clap, because I think you guys get it.
After serving their term at the helm, each party leader or president, as we refer to them at the academy, must step down and hand over to a newly elected president. The president is supposed to organize their group and ensure that the activities are done in a coordinated and cohesive way where everybody works. If any conflicts arise among the members, they are supposed to make sure that the issues are resolved. These are the presidents elected by their parties for this episode. Time now for that dreaded moment, which is nomination, and who's going to go home and who's going to stay. You will all have 5 minutes to think about who you're going to nominate. 5 minutes.
I feel it's just her way or no one person's way.
She needs to manage her emotions. She's a strong girl, but she doesn't give out her all, according to me.
Reason, the same. She's not a team player.
She's the one who instructs who to do this, and sometimes she leaves some of us out.
In the group, she's playing the victim role, that we are against her.
She has had different ideas of looking at things, and sometimes I feel it's dragging the group.
She has not contributed much. She's just reserved.
She contributes so much, but when it came to presentation is when she said, "Don't give me this harder task, give me a lighter one."
I find her rather overbearing.
You are watching Miss President. Over 1,000 applications were received from all over Kenya, and from these, 70 contestants were shortlisted. After a series of auditions, 40 women were selected, and they will battle it out at the academy, where they'll go through a process of training, tasks, challenges, problem-solving activities, presentations, and eliminations to eventually be elected Miss President. Now, since leadership doesn't work in a vacuum, the contestants are divided into 4 groups. Leaders are required to work with people from all walks of life. While working within these groups, the contestants will be tested on their ability to lead or work as part of a team. You can be sure that at every stage of this competition, you will be at the edge of your seat as these capable women try to convince the judges and you at home why they should make it to the next stage of the competition. And now, a quick look at the parties before elimination. Remember, somebody from each party will be going home tonight. I'm speaking with the judges, Honorable Kireni. It's good to see you, Honorable Moirore, Honorable Daktari Zipi, Honorable Kireni. Let me start with you. Your thoughts about the second nomination, which is what we're going to judge on. Is it about the weakest link, or have they realized, you know what, it's not a popularity contest, it's my opportunity for power, so I'm going to determine this game for myself?
Well, I mean, what we've seen is, unlike the last episode, there were a number of people all voting for one person.
Yes.
And now I can see, and I think we've all observed that, there's no ganging up. So the votes are now more evenly distributed, which means now, like I'm saying, they have realized it's an individual thing.
Yes.
So it's against me and against that other person. It's not we team up together as a flock. And so now let's remove this one, which is what we observed in the last nomination.
The way it's looking tonight, it's like they've realized it's everybody for himself. Ganging up is going. It's survival now for the fittest. Everyone for himself.
For the fittest. Yeah. What does that mean then, Daktari? And I wind up with you. What happens then to that idea, that concept that perhaps women in politics can change how we engage in politics as a country? Is women the answer to a change in our political dispensation or political behavior?
Looking at it from the perspective that when they started, they were thinking like
sisterhood.
Men.
Oh, yeah, well.
Yeah. But now, you had Njeri say, now people are voting evenly because they've gone back to their, we are women, we vote for the true person we think should leave, and we want to keep the one who should stay in the house.
Right.
So it's becoming better. It's now, this is now true leadership coming out. That is women leadership.
So who's going and who's staying? Stay with us. We have come to that moment when 4 people will be going home. The pressure is evident on the contestants' faces. The uncertainty is making them edgy. Viewers at home, I'm sure you are as tense as our contestants. Who will stay? Who will be on probation? And who is going home? And I'll hand you over to the judges. Daktari?
Hello. It's yet another beautiful moment. I call it beautiful every time because it brings us closer to getting the real and ultimate Miss President. We will hope that today you will champion your voice as well. I hand over to Honorable Moirore.
I'll call out 8 names. Those who I call out, please come to the front and occupy the seats on both sides. Jemima Kutata, please come to the front. Immaculate Shamala, please come to the front. Dr. Elizabeth Pantoren, please come to the front. Followed by Maya Shamim, please come to the front. Dorothy Mikis, please come to the front. Caroline Ogot, please come to the front. Helen Chebitwe, please come to the front. Followed by Mercy Wanyonyi Seraphine. Now I hand over back to my fellow honorable judge.
Okay, so why do you think you should stay in the academy?
Because I feel I have all it takes to be Miss President, and I have all it takes to be a leader in this country.
I'm glad that I'm in this spot because it also humbles me to know that I need to keep growing. That I'm grateful. I'm a leader in my own space, but I have also areas I need to improve. I'm not 100%. That's why I'm in this academy, to improve in leadership, because I have to acknowledge there are areas I am not good. That's why I challenge myself to come to this academy, to be able to be assisted by my fellow women leaders to grow into that space of leadership that I feel I should be there.
Knowing where I come from, reaching up to this time, by the way, I feel so great. And I know my team was very strong. And being strong team, you must name somebody, at least you're pushed to name somebody. And if you have to name somebody, you have to name. So you have to look around. Sometimes when you close your eyes and you start counting 1, 2, 3, so that it helps you do the selection. You see, it has to. And so, since it has landed on me, it's okay. Otherwise, thank you so much. And it has been nice meeting all of you and sharing and lessons learned. Thank you so much.
It's only when people value that they want to see you grow. And that means they've realized my weaknesses, and that I want to appreciate, looking at me as a role model back in the community I come from, and looking that I can improve and work on mistakes to become a better leader. Then I find it that I should stay in the academy.
My group members have noted some weaknesses that I have displayed, which I can't remember which ones, and which is very good that they're observant of some weaknesses of a leader. They should also give me a chance to show them my other side, the positive side, and be able to see that actually I can be of asset to them.
Kwa nini nikae kwa Miss President? Naamini kwamba bado sijafikia ile azimio ambayo labda nakusudia. Na ndio jambo ambalo limenileta hapa na mpaka saizi niko hapa. Naamini kwamba kuna mazuri ambayo bado watu wengi wanatazamia kusoma kutoka kwetu, kama wale ambao tutaparticipate mpaka tuje tupate ule wa mwisho, na naamini kwamba mimi bado ni njia na ni mmoja wale wa kuhakikisha kwamba lengo hilo limeafikiwa.
This is a small Kenya. We reached here as Kenyans. And when we are here in our table, I'm not ashamed to say, we are still Kenyans on that table. I'm marginalized even on the table. Anything that I've been given to the table, they refuse. Even today, issues of conflict. I have practical answers, but they refused even one. Nobody took it. So people are already doing their politics, calculating their way to reach where? The 12. So on that note, if given an opportunity, well and good. If not given, I'll say well and good.
I'm a strong leader. I'm a team worker. And one thing that I know, you don't shoot a tree that does not have fruits. I believe I should be here. I have contributed well within the group. But like I say, it's politics. Maybe I'm a little bit soft too. I need to open my eyes now. Now that I'm coming back, let's play.
I'll now call people who are going to be on probation and those who will have to leave the academy to go home. On Group Red, I'm Kenny People's Party. Jemima Kutata and Shamala Immaculate, stand up. Jemima Kutata, we are sorry that you have to leave the academy. However, we are very proud, at least for that change that we have seen today. I am very excited that even as you go out there, you can leave the academy knowing that there is growth. And even for us, we know that we have changed your narrative. Now you are a leader for the country, not just for people living with disabilities. And that is our pride. And we want to believe that you're still going to champion your initiatives as a leader. And for that, congratulations. Yes. Mwanzo Mpya Party, Elizabeth Pantoren and Shamin Maya. Shamin Maya, we are sorry we'll let you go home, but we still believe that you can champion a lot of change among the young girls in your community, and for that we are very proud of you. And we know that when they watch the show, they'll know, I want to reach where that girl has reached, and for that we are proud of you. For now, we are sorry to say you'll have to leave the academy. Elizabeth Pantoren, you said they don't know what they are missing, and you said you need another chance to show them your strengths. Here's another chance. Let's hope they will see that. Congratulations. The Green Mustard Seed, Dorothy Mikis and Caroline Ogot. Caroline Ogot, you said you're warm. I think your warmth will allow you another chance in the academy. Congratulations. Dorothy Mikis, we are sorry to let you go home, but we are very proud that we know that you are a change leader. From 97 to now, that's a long time, that's 20 years. One thing we know is that beyond Miss President, your story is going to come up many times, and thank you. Sauti Mpya Party, that is Chebitui Dina Helen and Mercy Seraphine Wanyonyi. Chebitui, you lost hope too early. I don't know why you lost hope too early. But one thing, even with your speech, you told us how you are ready and how much you have learned, and for that we're proud. Mercy Seraphine, you told us how you're a role model and how you still want people to listen to your positive side and to be a role model wherever you're coming from. And after contemplating, Chebitui Dina Helen, we are sorry to let you go home, but we are very proud to have had a leader of your status in the house and your warmth. And we want to believe that even as you go home, you will still have us in your journey. One thing that's very notable about you is your calm motherly nature that I think resonated with a lot of people in the house. Yeah. And now that the mother is going, I hope you will find another mother. Thank you so much, Chebitui. Mercy Seraphine, congratulations. You have another chance to speak. Silence is not a weapon. And for that, we'd like to congratulate everyone in the house. Work hard, make yourself better, and make your groups better.
People were ganging, looking for somebody to go so that they can remain, because the exercise really has to go on. But all of us, we are leaders. So, and as women, we need to learn to appreciate one another. We are looking forward to take it further and to change this country and to let this country know women can be leaders.
I take this moment to thank my group members, and I come out of this place happy. I'm going to engage them more, and probably we, play all these group dynamics, but I'm grateful. I have nothing against them. I'm happy that I'm in this sport so that I'm able to be challenged further.
What next for Shamim? Life goes back to normal, lakini si normal as in normal. Sahi nimerudi na narudi na information zaidi. So at least Nangala I've represented. So my part as a leader I've done, and I'm sure that I'm going to do more.
If I find people are domineering and a bit overbearing, then I take the backside just a little bit. It doesn't mean that I'm passive in the group. And I think that is now working to my disadvantage, and it's something I need to work on.
It's bound to happen. Any person can be on probation. So maybe it's my time to be on probation.
I also relaxed. I didn't expect it too soon. I relaxed. I kind of laid back saying, I don't think it's yet. While someone was also watching me as I slumbered.
It has been hard. All the same fun. We've made friends. And all the same, by coming home, there's no problem. We'll still be together and support the Miss President.
After a busy and highly charged day at the academy, it's time to take a breather. For some, probation calls for a meeting with self in order to assess or change strategies so as to remain in the competition. For others, the tears and goodbyes to newfound friends will close the day. There you have it. Conflict is unavoidable. Conflict is a sign of a need for change and an opportunity for growth. This group of women continue their long and grueling journey that will demand their very best. The enthusiasm, the drive, and the path of greatness to the top continues on the next episode of Miss President. By the way, before we go, If you have your thoughts, opinions, compliments, perhaps suggestions, tweet us on @media_focus, Facebook to go @media_focus on Africa, and Instagram @mediafocus on Africa. Before I go, something to share with you. Solidarity between women can be a powerful force of change and can influence future development in ways favorable not only to women but also to men. Nani sema hivyo? Nawal El Sadawi. So don't miss out on the next episode of Miss President, where another fascinating topic will be tackled, followed by tasks to test the skills of the contestants. Until then,